Do you ever get jealous that you think you're not getting the credit you think you deserve because your leader or pastor is getting all the credit and all the claps on the platform? Are you ever envious about the lead pastor walking onto the platform, ready to preach on the pulpit, and you're thinking to yourself, I can do this so much better than him? How many times have you looked at the lead and went, what on earth is he saying when he's talking to the staff members or all the leads in the church? These are things not to be thinking when you're an assistant, and maybe there's signs that you should probably find something else to do. I want to share a few character traits with you on how to be a number two, a better number two. If not, I want to show you some traits that you should develop in order to make your organization a thriving one. Now, this can apply to various things, whether you're an assistant pastor, you're a general assistant, you're an assistant to an assistant, and the list goes on. I want to talk to those people who are helping their organization and want to take it to the next level. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing any, and maybe you can help somebody else as they're reading in the comments. Number one, passion. Successful assistants are those who genuinely love their work, regardless of the credits, regardless of the benefits, and so on. If you're looking for signs, here's one of them. Do you love what you do? This is key because in the long run, if you don't, your role is not going to be sustainable. I love what Paul says in Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. And I know he's referencing to bondservants, but this still applies. Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive your inheritance as your reward. I don't know about you, but if you're working for a paycheck and you loathe coming into the office day in and day out, you aren't doing what you love, and you're possibly doing something that isn't going to be sustainable in the long term. You're doing something that maybe you had a passion for at once and maybe you lost it down the line. When you develop passion for your role, you go beyond the quota. You go to this place where you don't need enthusiasm, you don't need encouragement to keep on going. I'm currently an assistant and an events manager in this season in my life, and I love what I get to do. I've had so many conversations with people who are just, like my barber or at the car wash, and then you know how you make that small talk and you ask, oh, what do you do for a living? And then the question shortly after that is, oh, do you love what you do? And I can always say, yes, I love what I do. I can't imagine myself doing anything else. I get to be a part of something that's bigger than me. I find myself putting extra time in tasks, even though I may not get paid overtime. But that's okay because I didn't sign up for a position that is all dependent on income. Yes, income is great, but when you sign up for something that you love to do, you go beyond the quota. You go beyond the expectations. I signed up for something that I can step into, and I believe that this will take me into my calling. I'm a firm believer that where you find your passion, you will find your calling. And when you find yourself in this position, you won't have to question your work because you will find yourself in your God-given role. Number two, good work ethic. Successful assistants are people who are willing to put in the time that is necessary in order for the organization to succeed. Now, this is not for the 9-to-5ers out there. You need to develop work ethic. This means doing what is needed and not what you want. I love the parable of the talents because you read a story about servants who knew their master and not only did what he expected from them, but they went beyond their ability. Are you taking direction and doing it to the best of your ability, or are you complaining about the task at hand? It's so easy to look at a pile of things on your table and go, oh, that's too much, or I don't get paid enough to do this. But it's actually easy to say, I get to do this when you're coming from a place of passion. I love what I do. When you find what you love what you do, you end up developing this hard work ethic. As I stated earlier, I play an assistant role where I'm currently placed, and I love going out of the way and looking at the details. It's always easy to be told what to do, but it's much harder to go out of the way and stand out when you aren't told. Are you going out of your way and being an overachiever? It sounds a bit cheesy when I kind of say it like that out loud, but are you exceeding expectations and not just hitting quota? Are you going beyond the task given? Is your assistant pastor meeting quota, or do they go out of the way and recruit more volunteers than requested? Are they leading your Bible study and setting the example when they're not being told to do so? Are you setting the example? Are you being the person to represent your pastor accordingly? You want to stand out and thrive in your role. Be a hard worker. Think about the details. The next time you are given a task, think not only how to do this quickly and effectively, but how can I do this to the best of my ability? Because it's not only going to reflect on you, but it's going to reflect on the entire organization, the entire church as a whole. If I told my assistant to get a certain job done and they failed, I can give them grace. And I tell them to do it again and they do the bare minimum. That's not only reflecting on themselves, and that says a lot about their character, but that's reflecting the whole team when it's time to display the hard work that's been done. Number 3, loyalty. Good assistants, almost regardless of profession, must be loyal to the lead. You need to trust your lead regardless of direction. Yes, it's easy to provide input and then follow up with questions and ask your lead why they're saying what they're saying or why they're going in the direction that they're going. You have to do that in the right setting, but you need to trust them completely. It's important that an assistant provides loyalty at all times. Loyalty is doing the job regardless of what the team thinks. Loyalty is being dependable. Loyalty is being trustworthy. Are you not only capable, but can you be trusted by your team lead? Whatever task may be given, are you trusted by the team lead? Going back to the parable of talents, we read that the master was pleased with his servants because he was found faithful. And being faithful led to being a part of the joy of his master. There's a saying that goes, when the boss looks good, everyone looks good. When you are loyal, it reflects on the organization. When your team looks good, the boss feels good, and the team is then treated good. Are you loyal to the lead? Make sure you can count yourself dependable, because you don't want the boss to have to find that in someone else, or you don't want him to stress out. Loyalty is also being honorable in front of others. One great example that was set before me was always talk good about others. When your team is talking bad about the lead, are you participating or are you shutting that down right away? My pastor to this day is held to a high standard. In my books, I will always open the door for him. I will always be upset for him. I will take care of the bill if I am given that opportunity to do so. Not because I like to kiss butt, but because I'm loyal and I show respect where it's deserved. Let's recap really quick. Number 1, passion. Find passion in what it is you're doing. And you have to ask yourself, is what you're currently doing something that you are enthusiastic about? Can you see yourself doing this in the future? If not, you really gotta ask yourself, is this the right job for me? Is this what God has called me to do? Number 2, hard work ethic. Make sure that you develop hard work ethic in what you're doing. And when you find your passion, it's kind of easily for that to go hand in hand, because when you find your passion, you're just gonna wanna do what you do, and you're going to want to go beyond the task at hand and beyond the quota every single time you're given a task to do. And number 3, loyalty. Always be loyal to the lead. Find loyal people around you, and they'll help your team succeed. They'll help your church thrive. They'll help your organization be at the top. And I hope these keys helped you out. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and I'll hopefully catch you guys on the next one.